There's a movement happening behind the scenes that governments don't want you to know about. There's a shift moving to cryptocurrency, and there's a video coming out, looks like on Netflix, to stream on Max, Prime Video, Apple. This is about XRP, and I want you to watch there's a 5-minute video here. I want to watch this with you. I want to talk to you about it. And then I want to show you this clip here at the end. Why are we going to need banks after all of this is done? This is going to be pretty sick. Let's get through this. I need my headphones. Awesome. Let's do it. I love when shit breaks. All right, little refresh. All right, here we go.
There's a massive quantum shift happening.
Massive quantum shift.
And if you can't see it, you need to look around for just a moment. Why are so many people living broke right now?
We're all feeling inflation right now.
Americans are paying the price for rising inflation.
And many people don't exactly know why.
The more dollars that get printed, the more that gets put into circulation, the higher the prices of all of these assets are going.
It's an old archaic banking system.
It's pretty apparent at this point that we're in a transition.
It seems like we're on the brink of a major collapse. I think it's almost undeniable.
The system has to switch.
This is going to be so good, man.
I think we're going to see a dramatic change over the next 10 or even 15 years. XRP is part of the heartbeat of Ripple.
You had the ability to exchange anything of value in a very efficient way through this ingenious pathfinding algorithm.
The utility aspect of XRP, you can move value from one place to another place instantly for a very, very nominal cost.
Instead of it taking 3 to 5 days for a payment to go through from one bank to another cross-border, it now takes 3 to 5 seconds. That's a game changer.
They would have globally dominated the entire industry, but for the regulators pulling them back and Congress kind of not getting with the program.
You know, we absolutely want to see the United States lead in this new arena that we call blockchain and cryptocurrencies. And the clarity really emanates from the Securities and Exchange Commission.
It was the darkest day of the year. It was December 21st that Brad Garlinghouse came out and basically informed the world that they were soon going to be sued by the SEC.
The SEC's mandate is to help protect investors.
I got flooded out of the whole project because of this lawsuit. I lost my dream, my hope of buying something really, really solid.
At the very least, it's the appearance of impropriety. You know, and then the other end of the spectrum, it's absolute coercion and collusion, right? And market manipulation.
People are going to lose money, and people had their life savings in XRP. It was Christmas Eve. I came back at about 1 o'clock in the morning, something like that. Christy said, where the hell have you been for the last several hours?
John Deaton is a badass. If you're in his state, vote for John Deaton. I don't care, man. He's just on a different level. I wish we had a John Deaton in every state.
I looked at it and I said, I think I'm going to sue the SEC.
We became convinced that this whole case was merely a show. It was an attempt by the federal government to slow down the adoption and perpetuation of XRP.
By the banks.
Bill Clinton drops this lawsuit on his last day
Bill Hinman
in office, like mission accomplished.
Jay Clayton, he hires his good friend, Bill Hinman.
Bill Hinman came to the stand in 2018 and gave his famous speech where he declared
he got $15 million from the Ethereum Alliance to give that speech, and they helped him write it. They helped him write that speech, Bill Hinman. That's the government working for us, right? The people.
the Ethereum wasn't a security.
They did not issue that much Ether, and
yet
they let Bill Hinman go ahead and make the speech, saying that they're decentralized.
That the bureaucracy beast system has been weaponized against the American people.
Dozen FBI agents, guns a-blazing, came into my home. They tossed me into this van as if I'm Pablo Escobar or somebody.
Well, what else are they going to transport you in, man? They're not going to put you in like the back of a Honda or something, right? You're going to go in some type of van. It's all good. All good though, man. I'm sorry that it happened to you, Steven. I think what you did after releasing all the documents that you put out in your story, man, I'm fully behind you. I thought that clip was funny. Sorry.
The United States government's probably the biggest bully in the world.
Yep.
You got to defend yourself or you're going to get bullied forever.
We assemble an army so that we can be at the forefront of this change.
The XRP Army is a group of diverse people from all over.
Good morning, warriors. Hello and welcome back to another episode of your favorite crypto news channel, Good Morning Crypto.
I ended up posting it on Twitter, the lawsuit, And the next thing you know, it was 5,000, 12,000, 20,000, and eventually grew to over 75,000 people.
I was one of those people.
143 countries around the world all joined.
They want to be part of the new digital revolution. Blockchain technology is going to change everything.
There's always going to be a danger associated with blockchain, and there's also going to be benefits and things that are going to help and improve humanity.
We're just trying to utilize a new blockchain technology to benefit charities even more than they are now.
If you know a veteran that's struggling, may need to hit that reset button, have them look us up.
I am very optimistic about the crypto market in 2024.
We're entering an era where it's believed that all assets of value will be tokenized eventually.
The problem tokenization solves ultimately is accessibility.
By using intelligent tokenomics and smart contracts, we may at some point truly eliminate poverty on planet Earth.
The internet democratized information, and crypto and blockchain will do the same with value. There's little doubt about how far we have come, but I'm incredibly excited for the journey ahead.
This video is brought to you by Margex. You can actually deposit all kinds of different crypto assets and use those crypto assets to trade futures and derivatives up to 100x leverage, which is pretty insane. Different payment options are available: MasterCard, Visa, Google Pay, Apple Pay, and 152 others. You can register now to get up to $10,000 in bonuses. I will leave my link down in the description where you can use it. If you deposit up to $100, you will get $50 back for free, as well as you can use 50% of the bonuses to pay for your fees on the exchange. Looking forward to seeing how you do here. You can also do copy trading if your skills are still developing and you want to follow some really good traders. They have a whole platform that is dedicated to copy trading, as well as if you're wanting to learn how to do all of this stuff, there are definitely some places on Margex site that you can learn how to do all of these different things. Thank you so much for watching. Let's get back to the video. Remember, you are always going to have the people that doubt you, that they're always going to say that it's not coming, it's never going to happen, right? It happens with everything, right? It happened with the internet, it happens with cell phones, it happened with everything. There was always people to say that this is never going to catch on, that this is never going to do, and it happens anyways. Crypto is the future. Tokenization of assets is the future. It is the way value is going to be transacted and moved. And how much XRP do you hold? I don't love this. I think this is a little AI generated, but I thought it was kind of fun to show you, anyway.
3011 XRP places an investor in the top 10% of global XRP holders, with 523,615 wallets meeting this threshold. To be in the top 1%, an investor needs at least 61,000.
Are you a top 1%?
XRP, worth around $34,556, with only 52,361 wallets reaching this level. For those aiming higher, 10,099 XRP is required to be in the top 5%.
All right. I don't love the AI stuff, but all good. Here's a list, right, of kind of a wallets. And a lot of these people, right, have multiple wallets, okay? And all these people at the top are people that, insiders at Ripple, or people that are just gazillionaires that have a ton of money. Most people are like, 100,000 or 500,000 or less. Like most of you, my audience that own XRP, are in this. And if you're above this, man, let me know where the party is on your yacht when this thing goes off, because I'll be there, man. Give me a call, I'll be there. So check us out. China and Hong Kong bank IDs were added to docs.ripple.com. Previously, it was only the Philippines. The bank list is huge. Understand that Ripple is covering the entire globe, right? Imagine the FX market. $7.5 trillion a day moves across the foreign exchange market. Imagine that value being transacted on the XRP ledger. That's what it's built for. Payments, value transacting. That's why they're going after tokenizations. That's why they're going after central bank digital currency. And that is why they're going after this.
Something more sure, which is why the tokenized treasuries have come up and done well. It's a bit more structured from that perspective, and it certainly yields, which is great, and the stable coins don't yield. But generally, it's a create and redeem construct, generally not tradable peer-to-peer. Generally, I can't use them for settlement. So they have, while they're a big step in the right direction, they're not the solution. I think the solution is, imagine a PayPal type Web 2 interface that held a SEC registered yielding stablecoin. So I have a dollar coin that yields 5%, the 10Ks and 10Qs that have to file with the SEC, full transparency in the money market fund securities that it would own.
It's coming.
Proper Wall Street, trustees and custodians in the mix. Then you start thinking big picture, again, good for the US dollar in that it can scale globally. And now you start to be a little bit afraid for the banks, because why do you need a checking account and a savings account? And that's just here in the US.
Why do you think banks slowed it all down, right? Why do you think JP Morgan was sweating, talking Bill Hinman, Jacob, please sue Ripple. They got to slow these guys down because they're going to fuck with their system. They're going to mess with their bottom line. Banks make billions of dollars. That's why they're banks, right? Because they use us, right? They charge us an insane amounts of money on our credit cards, right? To just get from paycheck to paycheck. They keep us in the debt system. That's how they get rich, and we get screwed. I'm tired of it.
If you have an emerging market currency in a hyperinflationary environment, now I can have a US dollar bank account yielding 5%. I'm just going to put all my money in that.
Be a part of the change, all right? Start talking with your friends. Start talking with your family. They might think you're crazy for the first few bits of it. It's going to happen, right? But if you keep educating, if you share content like this, maybe not this video, right? Because I got a little passionate here. I'm feeling it. But crypto is the future. And right now it is a speculation asset. But it doesn't mean in 10 years from now that it's not going to be full utilitied out where everything can be transacted of value on something like the XRP ledger. I truly believe that interoperability is key here, and that all this, derivatives, right? $250 billion, stock market, bond market, equities market, you name it, can be on treasuries, right? Tokenizing dollars, tokenizing any kind of currency, bringing that value, right? That is what we're talking about here. All of the money. And I think it's going to happen, guys. I got passionate on this one. I hope you like it. I hope you share it. Today is September 2nd. It is my 10-year anniversary. So I wanted to wish my wife a happy 10-year anniversary. Thank you for being my biggest fan here on YouTube and in life. I love you.